Yeah, me, Nakaro from Purpose Plays. Today I'm taking a look at the solo-only card game Shephy from Japanese designer Pawn and publisher Bouken, Adventure Planning Services. This is a sort of solitaire-style card game in which you start off with a small flock of sheep. You're playing as the shepherd, fighting off this sort of bad things, killing off your sheep, and trying your best to grow and grow and grow your flock until you are able to reach 1,000 sheep, competing sort of with a timer of the game, trying to do so before your sort of evil competitor can grow their flock to 1,000 before you. This will be sort of the first of a two-part series that I'm doing of Pawn games. You can see behind me the slightly larger, or quite a bit larger game, Quant, and I'm reviewing both of these because they do have some fairly large things in common mechanically, and I want to sort of start with the older small game and then sort of bridge into the larger, more complicated game. No disclaimer needed on this one, as I did pick this up on my own in Japan a few years ago. With that said, let's head down to the table to see how this one plays, and then I'll meet you back up here to let you know what I think. To set up a game of Shephy, begin by placing out the sheep cards onto the table in stacks based on value of 1, 3, 10, 30, 100, and 300 across like that. Next, take one sheep card, placing that into your field, like that. Then we're going to take this enemy sheep tracker card, setting it to a value of 1, placing that just off to the side here. I will move that around as I need to. And finally, taking the deck of event cards, giving those a shuffle, placing them down here in the corner, and then drawing a hand of 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that. So a game of Shephy is going to play out over 3 rounds, and the goal of the game is for me to have a value of 1,000 sheep, means a 1,000 sheep card, in my field before the end of the game is triggered. And the way that the end of the game is going to trigger is that each round this card is going to rotate. So we'll start at 1, then the enemy sheep go up to 10, and then 100, and then finally up to 1,000. If the enemy sheep hit 1,000 before I've managed to place one 1,000 card in my field, I will have lost the game. Also, if at any point my field is completely emptied of sheep, that will also trigger a loss and immediately end the game as well. So the way that the game is going to play out is that I am going to, on my turn, select one of these cards to play, putting it in a discard pile and doing whatever it says on that card. And then I'll draw a card to replace it. And I need to play through this entire event deck. After I've played through once, this will rotate to 10. In the second round, after I play through a second time, this will rotate to 100. And finally, after I play through the third time, that will hit 1,000 and instantly end the game if I haven't already won before that. All right, so let me show you these 5 cards up close. And then after I start playing through the game, I'm sort of just going to explain what comes out as I play. But let me show you what we're starting with. So here we start with Be Fruitful. It says duplicate one of your sheep cards. Here's the Storm, Arashi, release 2 sheep cards. And release means return them back into the stacks up here at the top. Next, Falling Rock says release 1 sheep card. Here we've got Fill the Earth. Place as many 1 sheep cards as you'd like in the field. And here is Crowding. Release all but 2 sheep cards. So those are the 5 cards I'm starting with. And right away I see a great thing that I've started with, because Crowding says release all but 2 sheep cards. Which means if I play that right now, which I'm going to do, that means that I don't have to release anything because I only have 1, and that's already less than 2 sheep cards. So that's a great way to get rid of that card without losing any sheep. All right, next, Slump. Release half of your sheep cards rounding down. Well, that came out at a great time too, because 1 in half is half rounded down is 0. Again, I don't have to get rid of anything. All right, next, look through the deck and add one card of your choice to your hand and then reshuffle the deck. I'm going to do that in a minute, but first what I want to do is fill the earth. I'm going to place as many one sheep cards as I'd like in the field. I'm going to fill the field. The field has as many slots as there are decks up here, which means I can hold 7 sheep cards in my field. So I'm just going to fill all the way up with ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is my field. Nice and full of sheep. Drawing another card. Duplicate a sheep card. All right, so I'm going to use this inspiration to look through here to add one card of my choice to my hand. And I know exactly what I'm searching for, so let me go ahead and find what I want. Yes. We're going to take this Dominion card, and then as the other one said, I will be shuffling those cards back up. Like that. Dominion says, choose any number of sheep cards in the field, add their values, and then replace them with one sheep card of equal or lesser value. So I'm going to remove 3 of them, because 7 doesn't mean anything. If I release 3 of them, or remove 3 of them, I can replace that with a level 3 sheep. Like that. Drawing my next card, which says, Shephy. This card is horrible. Release 7 sheep cards, which means it's going to clear everything and instantly kill me. The good news is there are cards in here that will help me get rid of that. So I'm going to do that later. But first, let's be fruitful and duplicate one of my sheep cards. I will duplicate that 3, like that. Again. Lightning, release one of your highest ranked sheep cards. I don't want to do that yet. So let's duplicate again. I don't know if that's a good idea here, but we're going to duplicate a 3 again. We're back to full. Meteor, remove this card from the game and release 3 sheep cards. Yuck, but not the worst thing that could happen. Yeah, let's do that. Meteor is gone from the game, and I'm going to release 3 ones. Like that. Next card. Raise the rank of as many sheep cards as you like, except for your highest ranking sheep card. I really wanted that before I got rid of all of my ones. All right, that stinks. Release 2 sheep cards. Let's say release 1 sheep card to get rid of a 1. Oops, I don't put that there, put that there. Wolves, reduce the rank of your highest ranking sheep card by 1. If your highest ranking sheep card is 1, release it. So one of my 3s, unfortunately, is going to become a 1, and that goes away. Next, release all sheep cards of 1 rank. All right, we'll do that and get rid of that 1. I'm not doing real good so far. All right, multiply. Place 1 3 sheep card in the field. Well, yay, but grr. The order of things is hurting me pretty bad right now. Let's see what happens next. Choose one of your sheep cards and receive 3 sheep of 1 rank lower. Let's do that. Means I get 3 ones. 1, 1, 1, like that. Flipping again. Okay, here we go. Discard 1 card from hand. I want to discard not Shephy, because there is a card, if I remember correctly, that removes a card from the game. So I'm going to do the sheepdog to remove the release 2 cards. And I don't remember if it's really there or not. I think so. Yeah, let's assume that it is, and if not, then we're going to die, and then you'll see the end of the game. So those get refilled. Yeah, here we go. Planting sheep. Remove 1 card in your hand from the game. So that gets discarded, and bye-bye Shephy. We're protected. Then 2 more cards. We need to play it out. I've got Be Fruitful again that duplicates something. I've got Release a highest ranking sheep card. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. But it won't be. But it is, but it's not, but it will be. But yuck. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to first choose any number of sheep cards in the field, add their values, and replace them. So 3, 3, 3. and 1 gets me a 10. And then I'm going to play this all-purpose sheep. Choose a card in your hand, play this as a copy. So we're doing Be Fruitful. Be Fruitful is going to copy that 10. And I don't love it, but then I'm going to release one of my highest ranking sheep cards, means the 10 goes back, but I'm going to use the real Be Fruitful to get it back again. And then raise the rank of as many cards as you like except your highest rank. Means those both turn into 3s. And we're actually in a pretty good spot going into round 2 because the boss goes to a 10 and we're already at 23. So we're doing a little bit better than I was thinking I would. Shuffling up my event cards, moving into the second round. Okay. And again, drawing 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Place as many 1s as I'd like. Release all but 2 sheep cards. Choose any number of sheep cards, add them together, and so on. Duplicate a sheep card, duplicate a sheep card. Well, if I play duplicate a sheep card, and I'll do that here, that means I place a 10. Then I can do choose any number and add their values to replace them. 10, 10, 10. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, I should have drawn another card. Release half of your sheep rounded down. So 10, 10, 10 means I get a 30. Like that. Release half of your sheep cards means I lose a 3. But if I place out 4 1s, yeah, that's not going to matter. Yeah, let's do it. Release half of your sheep cards rounded down, gets rid of 1 3. Then I can wolves, reduce the rank of your highest by 1. That's going to stink if I have to deal with that. Release all but 2 sheep cards. I only have 2, so I'm safe. Falling Rock, release 1 sheep card. I don't want to do that. Let's duplicate the 30. Like that. Dominion, choose and add together. We can't get to 100 yet until I get a 10 and another 30. All right, then we're going to place as many 1 sheep cards as I like. We might just fill up on 1s for right now. Oops, that's not 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Drawing another card. All-purpose sheep, copy and play. That's not good. Well, release a sheep card means one of the 1s can go away. That's not a problem. Place 1 3 in the field. Let's do it. Next, choose one of your sheep and receive 3 sheep of 1 rank lower. That would be great, except that those 1s are annoying. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to look through the deck to find a card that upgrades everything of the lower rank. Where was that? Here. Shuffling those. Now, it says raise the rank of as many sheep cards as you like, except for your highest ranking sheep card. So those all become 3s. 1, 2, 3. Those 2 then become 10s. And I don't know if I wanted to do all of that, but it's good for right now. 30, 60, 70, 80. I've got 89. This lets me copy something. Choose a sheep card and get 3 sheep cards of 1 lower. That was the card that I just played from the inspiration. Next card comes. Discard a card from your hand. Sure. Let's do that to discard wolves. Release all sheep cards of 1 rank. Release one of your highest sheep cards. I don't love it because it's getting rid of stuff, but let's do that. Plague kills all the 3s. Like that. That gives me space because then I can copy. I'm going to choose a card to copy out. Before I do that, let's see what's coming out so I know what I'm dealing with. Remove a card in my hand from the game. Probably that, but we'll see what comes out later. I am copying this one. Choose one of your sheep cards and receive 3 of 1 rank lower. It means I'm choosing 30 and I get 3 10s. 1, 2, 3 like that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 91, 110, which is going to be cool. Because then I can choose any number of sheep cards in the field, add them together. So 30, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 like that. Gets me 100. Last event card comes out, release 2 sheep cards. All right, then I'm going to remove from the game the release one of my highest ranking cards. Then duplicate a card to get another 100. And then choose one of your sheep cards and receive 3 of 1 rank lower. Means I'm choosing 100 and I place out 1, 2, 3 of the 30 cards. Then finally release 2 sheep cards, 130 and 110 will go away like that. We're not looking too bad, 230 going into our last round. AI's got, or sorry, the opponent, the enemy evil sheep, have 100 sheep. We have 230. We're looking good. Shuffling up. They're nice and good and shuffled. All right, and drawing 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Release half of your sheep cards. Release all but 2 sheep cards. Look through and add one of my choice to my deck. Place 1, 3 in the field. Duplicate a sheep card. All right, so we're gonna duplicate a sheep card. Getting myself another 100. Good. Ooh, that came out just the right time. Dominion is our adding them up. 111 becomes 300. Like that. Release 1 sheep card. Sure. Yeah? Sure. 130 goes away. This is as many 1s as you'd like. Well, release all but 2 sheep cards is good because there's 2 there. That one I got to get rid of. Release half of your sheep cards. Well, I'm going to place as many 1s as I want, which is just going to be 1. Because then I can release half of my sheep cards, which is just that 1, like that. Next, choose one and receive 3 of 1 rank lower. That's easy. I will play that for sure. Choosing 300 and getting 3 more 1s, like that. Release 2 sheep cards, no thank you. Raise the rank of as many cards as you'd like, except for your highest ranking card. That's great. 30 goes to 100, and these 3 are all 300s. 3, 6, 9. We are way over the 1,000. I just got to live to get to 1,000. All right. Place 1, 3 in the field. Release all of 1 rank, means that 3 is gone. Here we go. Choose any number of sheep cards in the field. Add their values and replace them with 1 sheep of equal or lesser value 3, 6, 9, 1,000, and like that, I win the game. As soon as the 1,000 hits my field, that is an instant win. So I did manage to win the game with quite a few cards left. I did very well this time, which is nice to have on camera. All right, with that, this is usually where I take a look at the components. You've seen all of the event cards cycling through, but I just want you to see here how insanely cool this is, that every single one of these cards, I'm lying, not every single one, but because you see those two, oh no, they're not the same. They look similar, but they're not the same. Every single one of these cards is a unique illustration of some really cool, pretty cute looking sheep. A little frisky, but very, very cool. And realistically, I believe that they actually include, or at least basically include, the actual number of sheep shown. I guess that's not true, because there's no way he drew 100 sheep there. And yeah, no. But I just love this cartoony sheep artwork in all of these decks. I'm not showing you all of them, but I'm showing you many of them. I love the way, this is great. I love the way all of this looks. It's really, really cute in a kind of weird, goofy way. I just love the way that all of this stuff looks. Big fan of the design here. The cards, I don't think have a linen finish. There are glossy finish on them, but they are very nice cards. They feel really good. They shuffle really, really, really well. Other than that, I do want to point out here that this game I did buy from Japan while I was in Japan. But the game does come with both English and Japanese instructions or rules in the box, which is great. And the way that the box works is, it's just a tuck box, but it's kind of interesting because it's got this sort of insert thing here. And let me show you how this works. In the back, behind the cards, these rules slot right inside there. And then in the front, you kind of have to separate them in two equal-ish stacks, which doesn't work perfectly, but say like I take these cards with maybe the 300s and the 1000s, and you'll see that this actually is divided into two pieces. So those cards all slide in there. And then all of these cards slide in there. And this thing actually slides in and sort of locks in, holding the cards inside there. And then all of that slides into this sort of side-loading, very nice tuck box. And everything is held very, very nicely. It does have a sort of hanger thing, although it is serrated, so I could rip it off, but I don't know how well the box lasts if I do that, so I'd rather not try. But anyway, that is the packaging. That is how quick it is to clean up when you're done. That is all I can show you about the components of Shephy. Meet me back up top and I'll let you know what I think about the game itself. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. So Shephy is one of the first sort of Japanese solo-only games that I'd ever heard of. But actually the first time I heard of this game was as a cell phone app. And it is now also available on Steam and Nintendo Switch, at least. It may be available in other places as well. But there is a very good digital sort of implementation of this game, and that's how I discovered it the first time. And then a few years ago when I was in Japan, I noticed it sitting on the shelf when I was looking for something to grab, and I thought, hey, I remember enjoying that app. Let's go ahead and grab the card game. And honestly, to be completely honest with you, if that was where things ended, I probably wouldn't be doing a video on this game, not because it's a bad game, just because there are many other games that I want to talk to you about and show off on this channel. But the real reason that this video is happening is because of this one right here behind me, Quant. I want to do a video on that game. That's a new game, or new-ish game, from the same designer that shares a lot of mechanical roots with Shephy. But before I covered that, I wanted to cover Shephy just so I had that out there as a point of comparison to Quant. So with that said, let's talk about how I feel about Shephy. So Shephy, at its core, is a very simple solitaire card game, much like you'd expect from something back in the day like Klondike Solitaire, where you sit down and with a deck of cards and you play through and you play through and you play through until you win or you lose, and that's the way the game works. Very short, very simple, very just card-based solo game. But it does things quite a bit differently than pretty much anything I've seen before, and this is a game that's unique because basically what the game is forcing you to do is, while you're trying to attempt a goal, or attempt to meet the goal, which in this case is increasing your sheep from 1 to 1,000 over basically a series of 3 rounds until your rival does the same, which is just a timer of 3 rounds. But the point here is not just that I'm trying to do something. The point is that I'm trying to do that or achieve that goal, but then also maintain my achievements as I go. And what that means is I am playing through that deck of cards 3 times. Each round is a complete playthrough of a deck of cards. And in that deck of cards, there's going to be a variety of different cards. And those cards are going to do things like add more sheep to my field, multiply the sheep, sort of increasing the number of sheep that I already have in the field, increasing the level or the value of the sheep that I already have in my field. So 1 sheep becomes 3, or 3 becomes 10, or 10 becomes 30, and so on. So there are a lot of cards in there that allow me to add things to my sheep, multiply my sheep, increase the level of my sheep, and so on in that deck. But then at the same time, in that deck, there are cards that say things like remove a sheep, remove all the sheep of 1 level, remove all of your highest level sheep, and so on. So there are these cards that are slowly destroying the sheep in my field, and there are cards that are increasing the number of sheep or the value of the sheep, or both, in my field. But I have to play every single card in the deck in every round. So it's my job, starting with 5 cards in my hand, playing 1, drawing up, playing 1, drawing up, slowly churning through the deck to sort of balance the level of grow sheep, kill sheep, grow sheep, kill sheep, so that I'm growing sheep better than I am killing sheep off. And what that means is I need to not just control how quickly I'm growing my sheep, but also more specifically what value of sheep I'm growing, because there are cards that specifically target types of sheep. There are cards that target, say, half of the cards that you have. If I've only got 1 card at the field at that time, it does nothing. If I've got a card that says eliminate all but 1 sheep in the field and I only have 1 sheep card in the field, it does nothing. So I have to figure out this timing of how do I spread out these sheep? How do I use a big group of sheep to combine into a larger sheep? And then how do I make sure that I only have the right number of cards in the field when a card would do damage to me so that I lessen the damage from that card? But then in the deck, there's also a card that lets me skip or discard 1 bad card. And there's another card that lets me completely remove a card from the game. And that's important because there are some dangerous cards in this deck that basically would instantly wipe you out if you don't find a way to remove it from the game. So you have to do this 3 times, which is interesting because I have to play every good card, but I also have to play every bad card, aside from the ones that I'm discarding or removing, using the good cards that do so. But I have to do it 3 times. And at the end of those 3 times, I have to have 1,000. And there's no way I'm getting to 1,000 in a single round. So if I was starting over every time, that wouldn't happen. Except the twist here is that whatever I end the first round with, I start the next round with. So basically, I need to make sure that by the end of the first round, I have a 30 sheep. And then by the end of the second round, I have a 300 sheep. And then hopefully from that 300 sheep, I can get to 1,000. Or more realistically, at the end of the first round, I have at least a 10. And by the end of the second round, I have at least 100 so that I can get to 1,000 by the end of the third round. And it's this building, 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 while slowly stripping out a little bit of the bad cards, but then playing this very cool balance game of good, bad, good, bad, good, good, bad, remove a bad, good, good, bad, to make my sheep grow without losing too much, trying to absolutely never clear the field, because if I ever clear the field in the middle of a round, that's an instant loss. And then doing my best to make sure I have 1,000 by the end. it's a quick, it's a simple, it's a not that deep game, but realistically there is quite a bit of complexity in this balance and timing of the card play. How to hold on to a good card to play it at the right time. How to hold on to a bad card until I have a good card that can get rid of it, or until I can sort of rearrange the situation so it doesn't do that much damage. It's a very, very, very clever system and a very simple and fast playing solo game. I'm having a blast with it. Now, I will point out that there is quite a bit of pattern in this game. And this is the kind of game that as you play more, you are going to get better at. And it potentially is kind of almost solvable. So if this is a game you're playing a ton and a ton and a ton and a ton, you might get to the point where it's kind of not playing itself, but it's kind of, you know what you need to do in order to win kind of a thing. And then the decision gets a little bit less interesting. But realistically, that's the same thing with any kind of solo card, solitaire style game that you get good at. It kind of just becomes habit. But sometimes the habit of playing a solo card game is the fun of playing the solo card game. So that doesn't bother me too much. On top of that also, the digital implementation of this game has like 4 or 5 different rule variants that give you different setups or slightly different goals that you have to achieve throughout the game. And while that's not in this box, they were released online as Japanese rules. And I'm pretty sure, it's been a while since I looked, but I'm pretty sure there's been English translations of those. So you can sort of physically play with the online variants as well, which do introduce new challenges and new ways to think about this game. And realistically also, if like me, you put the game down for a while and bring it back out again, you may not remember all of the things that you remembered the last time you play, and then the puzzle does come back again. Again, I can't say enough good about this for what it is. Again, small, simple, straightforward solo card game, but there's a whole lot of fun to be had in this box. And again, looking forward to the future, this game Quant right here. You can probably guess this, I'm doing a video that I have some good things to say about it, but I do want to show it off because it has taken the Shephy system and sort of kicked things up a notch. So I look forward to sharing that with you, but I'm glad that I was able to share Shephy with you as well. As always, I hope that this video was helpful, and I hope that you did enjoy it. If you did, please, as always, remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon below, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks.